The towering walls of Ravenwood Correctional Facility loom like silent sentinels, remnants of a grim past that seep into every corner of its labyrinthine halls. Marcus, with his voice smooth yet tinged with weariness, reflects on the unsettling beauty of the prison's architecture. The iron bars and cold concrete remind him of the asylum that once thrived here, a place where darkness and despair reigned. In some ways, he muses, this place feels haunted, not just by the ghosts of those who once roamed freely, but by our own regrets and lost dreams. As he traces the lines of the crumbling walls, he grapples with his own narrative of abandonment. Life has dealt him a tough hand, yet within these shadows he seeks redemption. The echoes of forgotten souls resonate with his own struggles, underscoring the fragile hope that perhaps, amid the decay, he can still rebuild himself anew, transcending the shackles of his past. As the echoes of iron doors fade, Leah's voice emerges from the depths of Ravenwood, weaving a tale of connection amidst chaos. She chronicles her life behind bars, where the clatter of metal and whispers of regret constantly remind her of the stakes. Once a fierce gang member, Leah finds solace in the unlikely friendships formed in this hostile environment. Each day presents a battleground, every interaction fraught with tension yet illuminated by moments of loyalty and trust. Through laughter shared over sparse meals and quiet conversations in the yard, these bonds redefine what it means to be family. Leah reflects on the duality of her past, where survival often required betrayal, and her present, where support and understanding become lifelines. In this dark place, she learns that even shadows can form communities, and within the walls of Ravenwood, resilience flourishes in the most unexpected ways. As she shares her journey, Leah embodies the spirit of sisterhood that thrives against all odds. Jamal shifts in his seat, the worn wooden chair creaking under his weight as he leans closer to the microphone. He recalls the moment he first opened a law book, its spines cracked and pages yellowed with age. "I thought I'd never need to know this," he admits, his voice laced with gravel. Inside Ravenwood, the complexities of the legal system became his lifeline. He learned the intricacies of trial motions and appellate procedures, determined to illuminate the shadows of injustice for others. The sound of distant footsteps echoes, punctuating his passion. Inmates approach him with their legal dilemmas, eyes filled with both hope and desperation. Jamal's own case still looms large in his heart, a reminder of the past that fuels his fight for justice. As he shares his knowledge, he finds purpose among these stark walls. Each victory, no matter how small, feels like a step toward redemption, not just for himself, but for those he advocates for. Jamal sits at a worn table in the dimly lit library of Ravenwood, poring over legal texts stacked high. His voice, steady yet tinged with determination, breaks through the prison's monotonous sounds. "Understanding the law was my lifeline," he confesses, recalling the day he realized that knowledge could be his ticket to freedom, not just for himself, but for others as well. He recounts moments spent in heated discussions with fellow inmates, their faces lighting up as he explains their rights and the maze of legal jargon that often kept them shackled. Each victory, however small, resonates deeply, igniting a flicker of hope in a place often defined by despair. Jamal's passion becomes a beacon, illuminating paths through the oppressive shadows. As he helps others file appeals and understand their cases, he feels a sense of purpose restore his identity, showing that the pursuit of justice can flourish even within these walls. As the echoes of laughter fade into the stark silence of Ravenwood, Emma takes a deep breath, the paper crinkling under her fingers. She begins to recount her last good day, a summer afternoon filled with sunshine and laughter, before life unraveled into chaos. Flashes of her daughter's face dance through her mind, soft curls gleaming in the light as they spun in the park, moments untouched by regret. Now, between the cold walls of this prison, those memories become both a balm and a torment. Each letter she writes to her daughter serves as a lifeline, tracing her journey from mother to inmate. Emma pours her soul into her words, her hopes tethered to the chance of redemption. Connecting with her daughter through stories empowers her, sparking a flicker of resilience against the overwhelming weight of remorse. Each page turned carries the heartbeat of a mother dreaming of reunion, illuminating the path toward healing amidst the shadows. As the dim light filters through the barred windows of Ravenwood, a different kind of hope begins to flicker. Within these walls, a range of rehabilitation programs offers inmates a chance to reconnect with parts of themselves long buried under the weight of regret. Inmates gather in art therapy sessions, paintbrushes in hand, transforming blank canvases into vivid expressions of their emotions. Leah shares how these moments provide respite from the oppressive routine, where creativity becomes a lifeline. Marcus reflects on the vocational training, recounting how learning new skills instills a sense of purpose that alleviates the suffocating despair of confinement. "We're not just doing time, we're reclaiming our lives," he says with conviction. Every laughter in the classrooms, every brushstroke on a canvas, echoes a collective desire for redemption, illustrating that life in Ravenwood, while hard, can also cradle the seeds of transformation amid shadows. The journey towards healing continues, intertwining hope with a stronger sense of self. In the dim glow of the prison's common area, inmates gathered, sharing whispers of dreams that flickered like fragile flames amidst the shadows. Each story revealed a silent determination. Visions of freedom floated just beyond the concrete walls. Marcus spoke of his childhood ambition to be an architect, sketching blueprints in his mind, imagining structures that could breathe hope into a stifling world. Leah, with her fierce spirit, confided in her dream of opening a community center for troubled youth, guiding them away from the paths she had taken. Jamal, a beacon of resilience, envisioned a future as an advocate, fighting tirelessly for justice reform. These aspirations, coiled tightly around their hearts, offered solace against despair and uncertainty. With each shared dream, laughter erupted like sun rays breaking through clouds, a reminder that hope could flourish, even within Ravenwood's confines. Together, they dared to dream of life beyond bars, where shadows would give way to light. As the echo of memories reverberates through the cold halls of Ravenwood, inmates find themselves confronting the weight of their past decisions. Miguel's voice trembles as he recalls the moment that led him to these iron bars, the reckless night fueled by anger and betrayal. Each recollection lingers like a ghost, prompting reflections on guilt, remorse, and the desperate yearning for forgiveness. Amid somber confessions, inmates recount the traumas that haunt their thoughts, wounding their spirits. Emma speaks softly of the conversations she never had with her daughter, while Marcus grapples with the loss of innocence in a split-second choice. Yet within this dark tapestry of regret lies a glimmer of hope, as they share the steps they are taking toward healing. Therapeutic group discussions, writing letters of apology, and seeking to mend broken relationships. Together, they navigate their shadows, finding strength in vulnerability, and committing to transform their narratives from heartbreak to healing. As the echoes of laughter and heartbreak intertwine within the walls of Ravenwood, the narrative shifts to love, its many forms and complexities. Prison creates an unusual landscape for relationships. Some thrive, while others fracture under the weight of confinement. Jake, a man serving a lengthy sentence, recounts the letters exchanged with his high school sweetheart, each carefully crafted word bridging the distance between their worlds. Their love, tested by time and despair, becomes a source of strength for both. Meanwhile, Maria reflects on the friendships she has forged with fellow inmates, bonds that fill the absence of family support. Yet, not all connections are uplifting. Betrayals and strained family ties seep into these halls of stone, creating a tapestry of emotions that illustrate the duality of love behind bars. In this crucible of confinement, the yearning for connection persists, revealing that even within shadows, the heart seeks warmth and understanding. The echoes of isolation reverberated through the hearts of those who felt forgotten, yet within the walls of Ravenwood, stories emerged that demanded to be heard. Mary, a young inmate who had struggled with bipolar disorder, found herself trapped in a system that often vilified her illness. She spoke candidly about the stigma she faced, how her mental health issues were dismissed as mere excuses for her actions. Inmates like Tom, who battled depression amidst the shadows of regret, shared their struggles with understanding and compassion. Each voice revealed the harsh reality of living with mental health challenges in an unforgiving environment. They spoke of moments where vulnerability was met with indifference, but also of the fragile camaraderie formed through shared experiences. As connections blossomed among them, they began to reclaim their dignity, striving for recognition and understanding not only within the prison walls, but also in a society that often looked away. As the weight of uncertainty looms over Ravenwood, inmates share their haunting narratives of the relentless wait for freedom. With each tick of the clock echoing through the cell block, emotions flare, hope, despair, and anger intertwining. Marcus recounts how he meticulously prepared his parole application, poring over every detail, while Leah shares a heart-wrenching story of watching her mother's declining health from behind bars, helpless and yearning for connection. Jamal describes the anguish of waiting, navigating the complexities of a legal system designed to confuse rather than clarify. The fear of rejection seeps into their thoughts, heightening their vulnerability. Yet amid these struggles, an unbreakable resolve emerges. They dream of the day they can step outside, reclaim their lives, and rewrite their stories. Each voice carries the weight of longing, resonating with the shared understanding that their pasts don't have to dictate their futures. The echoes of confinement resonate not only within the walls of Ravenwood, but also in the hearts of those left outside. Inmates share heartfelt insights into how their actions have rippled through families and communities, often causing cascades of pain and loss. Marcus reflects on the day his daughter stopped visiting, haunted by the emptiness that spread through their home. Leah remembers her younger brother, whose life took a downward turn after she was sent away, caught in the crossfire of loyalty and despair. Each voice carries the weight of responsibility as they ponder the lasting effects of their choices on their loved ones. They recognize the importance of healing, not just for themselves, but for their families, who bear the burdens of their mistakes. There's a shared determination among them to break these cycles, and in doing so, ignite a spark of hope for reconnecting with the people they love and the lives they shattered. As the voices of Ravenwood echo in the dimly lit halls, a sense of hope begins to unfurl. Inmates reflect on their efforts to forge connections with the world outside these towering walls. Through outreach programs, they engage with community volunteers, sharing stories and dreams that transcend their circumstances. These interactions become lifelines, sparking a sense of purpose and belonging, often lost in confinement. Leah speaks of a young volunteer who, despite societal judgments, sees them not as outcasts, but as human beings yearning for redemption. Jamal emphasizes the transformative power of education, making strides in bridging the gap between what society perceives and the reality of their struggles. Each connection becomes a building block, reshaping narratives and fostering understanding. The men and women of Ravenwood, often labeled as forgotten, reclaim their identities and envision a future that extends beyond the prison gates, weaving a tapestry of hope and resilience that strengthens their resolve.